Hello humans, I'm the TheAlienDoctor, but you can call me Alien, and welcome back to another episode of PinaCraft Season 4. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a lot of talking because I basically want to go over my goals and plans for 2024 and also reflect a little bit on 2023 because this is probably going to be the last upload that I do this year, probably. I can't imagine I'll be doing another one. So yeah, and obviously I'm currently recording this like on the 21st, so this is like even before Christmas and stuff. But obviously I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas, and also I hope everybody has a happy new year as well. Let's just get that out of the way. So the way I'm going to do this is pretty similar to my 2k sub special Q&A, where I'm just going to record myself placing in tons of blocks over in the cliff, and then I'll record a voiceover separately and basically play that over the top. So if you don't want to watch this one with video and you just wanted to listen to it, then it'll work completely fine for that as well. But to give you something to look forward to, this is something that I have began working on that you'll be seeing in an upcoming episode of PinaCraft Season 4, probably the next one. So there's a little exclusive preview for you if you're watching this video, which I imagine not a load of people are, because that's generally how these videos go. You know, something that's more for the pre-existing audience instead of the new audience generally doesn't get as many views. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some cobblestone, and then we're going to get working on this cliff. Well, I've just spent a little bit of time gathering lots of rooted dirt and moss that I could craft into mossy cobblestone, so that we now have all the materials I should need to begin working on this stage of the base cliff. So the specific part that we're going to be working on is this area where we have the cobblestone and the mossy cobblestone and the tough blocks as well. And did a rabbit just fall off? I just heard the rabbit. Aww. Yeah, anyway, this is the area that we're going to do. As you can see there's some grass blocks that have started spreading. Honestly, I think I might just leave it there. I kind of like how it looks. Well, I guess it's time for me to roll the voiceover of talking about my goals and also reflecting on this year. So just for the beginning, whilst I'm talking, I'm going to put some statistics on the screen to compare what 2023 has been like on my channel compared to 2022, just so you can kind of get a rough idea of some statistics without me just mindlessly telling you them in the voiceover, because that's not super interesting, to be honest. As you can see, or will see, pretty much all of these statistics have increased since the last year, which is absolutely great considering I actually uploaded a lot less long form videos compared to last year. Although this year I did produce a lot more shorts, which were typically just clips, and I think that's really helped my statistics as well. And statistically, I actually think this year has probably been like the best year I've ever had, which is quite nice. I've been doing this for, well, I started in like the middle of 2020, so like half a year, and then the entirety of 21 and 22 and now 23. So I guess I've been doing this for 3.5 years, which is pretty crazy to think about. And yeah, during all that time, this year has essentially been the best. In terms of statistics anyway, but statistics are not everything. So statistics aside, one thing I would like to say is a massive thank you to everybody that has basically done anything related to my channel this year, whether it be, you know, viewing content, liking, doing things like joining the Discord, or joining my Patreon, or channel members, like literally anything. Even just watching is like a huge thank you to all of you. You are essentially the people that have made this happen. But anyway, without further ado, let's just take some time to reflect on the past year. So near the end of last year, being 2022, when I refer to last year, I mean like 2022. When I refer to this year, it's 2023. I'm recording this on the 21st. So near the end of last year, I actually started college, which unlike in America is actually something you start when you're age 16 and then finish when you're aged 18. Whereas in America, you start college or university at the age of 18. For us, we do start university at the age of 18, but you start college at 16. It's weird. I could explain it, but not right now because I'm busy. So, of course, this massively impacted the amount of time I had to spend on my channel, but overall, I think I did a pretty good job at not letting it affect my channel too much, and obviously also not letting it affect my college work too much. And overall, I was still pretty consistent with videos. In 2022, I feel like I tried juggling too much, so obviously all the IRL stuff that I have to do, but also making videos, streams, programming add-ons and other software, coding my website, running my community server, UFOCP, and of course doing admin stuff for PinaCraft, as well as just other random small things. I can't exactly remember what my goal was for 2022, but we did reach 1,000 subscribers, which in hindsight would have been a pretty good goal if I'd have been, you know, setting goals. But overall, I think I just spread myself too thin for 2022. So I essentially set myself, one of the goals this year was to focus more on my channel and I think that's something that I did do pretty well. So coming into 2023, I made the decision to focus on creating Minecraft videos and streams as my main priority. Ultimately, it's what I'd come here to start doing in the first place, and generally it's also the thing I have the most motivation for. PinaCraft Season 3 ended in very early 2023 after going on for over a year, and whilst there were some things that I wasn't happy with, there was also a lot of things I was happy with and had learned lots from that I have taken to me into Season 4 and also obviously 2023. So I won't go through like everything that I kind of was thinking at the end of Season 3 because it's not really relevant to this video. I could make an entire video about it, honestly, but I just want to speak about one thing or one or two things that I sort of thought at the end of Season 3 that are quite relevant to how I changed content in 2023. There's lots of threes of this. Anyway, so one of the major things I had thoughts on for PinaCraft Season 3 was my base. I dual based with PinaCraft, meaning we both built a base together. Now, don't get me wrong, this was so fun, and having PinaCraft's amazing, like genuinely really good building skills paired with my technical skills was a recipe for a great base. And don't get me wrong, I think it was a great base. Whilst I was still happy with the final product, it was technically speaking unfinished compared to our normal plans or to the plans we made due to myself and PinaCraft being unable to arrange times to meet due to scheduling conflicts. And of course, we both just have busy lives. That's not me trying to, blame PinaCraft or anything at all, and obviously I'm not also blaming myself either. We're just two different people with two different lives, and obviously we also live in two different time zones, which makes it really, really hard. But I essentially learned the hard way that I really liked base building in Minecraft, and I felt like I'd really missed out on that in Season 3. So for me, Minecraft bases are generally a larger structure that look reasonably nice with lots of various different farms in. It kind of combines that farming aspect that I really like with Minecraft, the grind, which I'm not really against, to be honest, and it also gives me a chance to practice my building skills, which is something I could always do with some more practice on, honestly. And yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft is to build bases, and I kind of realized after not doing that in Season 3 that it was something I missed a lot. Now, I knew coming into Season 4 and resultantly coming into 2023 that I wanted to have my base be a very large focus of the season, which would of course mean it would take a very large focus of this year. Now, unfortunately, due to college and just generally being busy, I have not made as much progress or content on my base building compared to what I wanted to or what I would have expected. As I said, this is purely due to being busy, and ultimately there's not really much I could do about that. So whilst I kind of in some ways failed the goal of focusing quite a lot on the base, it's not my fault. I was busy, and it was most of the time stuff I couldn't get out of, like college work and school stuff and just meeting up with friends and just stuff that you kind of just have to do as a person, and that's completely fine because I have a real life as well. So I guess in some ways it was about finding like that boundary as well, and I think I did pretty well at that this year. So whilst we are on the topic of PinaCraft, despite getting closer to running for over a year, currently we do not plan on ending this season, Season 3, because basically everybody has been super busy, and for a server that has 20 members and has been going for like 10 months now, it still feels pretty empty, and like it's only been going for 2. So yeah, Season 3 is going to be sticking around for a lot longer than normal seasons in the past, which is good, because like even if you just look at my episode count, I have made less episodes than last time. So to give you an idea, it was this time of year pretty much that Season 3 ended. I think I probably made a couple more episodes. So this is episode 21, if I remember correctly, of Season 4. By this time, I was on 30 something. So it's not loads, but like when you're a small channel that's not full time, there's actually quite a lot of like extra time and episodes that would have gone into that. Like, it may seem like only like 3 or 4, maybe 5 episode difference is actually quite a lot for a small channel, in my opinion. But anyway, off topic again. I have notes and I'm trying to follow them, but I keep going off topic. So we don't have any plans for certain yet, but it's likely season 4 will end in time for 1.21, which will probably be releasing like late spring sort of time, early summer. I'll talk more about this in the plans and goals section, but my base is going to be a very, very big focus for essentially the first half of this year. I would just like to say that the idea of ending the season, during that time isn't for definite, but it is looking pretty likely. We just want to give people more time to play on the server and this season before resetting it, because, yeah, I don't know, it still feels like Season 3 only ended yesterday, so whatever, anyway. Also, I need time to finish that mega base. Jeez. Anyway, I'm sorry about the long ramble about PinaCraft. I just wanted to clear some stuff up and explain that because it's no secret that it's been like my main content, if you like. But anyway, so moving on from PinaCraft, this year I also produce a lot more other types of videos. It feels like it's I produce more of those compared to normal, but honestly, that might not be true. But anyway, so I think it's always going to be PinaCraft or, you know, whatever other survival / let's play content I'm doing that's going to be the main focus. So obviously this year is no exception to that, and there has been a lot of PinaCraft episodes made. There's also been a lot of like other types of videos made, and I'm actually really happy with this. I've made things like software showcases and tutorials, and honestly, there's just been a lot of videos that I've just wanted to make and never really done for whatever reasons. And I'm quite happy that I managed to do those that year. Or this year, sorry, but it now means that I've not got a ton of ideas left for next year other than PinaCraft episodes. So we'll see where that sort of takes us. But it's also clear looking at the analytics that most of these videos are why the channel has grown so much over this year. And this also goes back to what I spoke about earlier, where my main priority this year has been making content for the channel instead of working on other things like add-ons or the website or UFO SMP. Ultimately, just kind of taking it down to my roots, if you like. Having this focus on videos has allowed me to create an experiment with more different content, and especially in the later part of this year, I feel I've been able to get a bit more creative, especially the editing side of things, and produce videos that are better for the YouTube algorithm gods, while still being authentic and, you know, like still, you know, an AlienDoctor video, but hopefully should appeal to more people or to the YouTube algorithm. Speaking of YouTube algorithm stuff, I have of course been posting a whole lot of YouTube shorts that have been primarily made up of clips from streams, but also just occasional video clips too. I've been wanting to do this for ages, and I always kind of just blamed not having enough time, but honestly that was probably just an excuse or me being a bit ignorant, as once I set up the templates and the replay buffer in OBS, creating clips became an incredibly easy task and took up like basically none of my time. I always used to say like, oh, if I was full-time I'd be posting like loads of shorts of clips of content, and you know, I'm not full-time now and I'm doing that, and it's helped my channel just so much. It's very good. So to sum everything up, this year I'm overall really happy with how it turned out for my channel. Whilst I didn't make a video like this last year, I did set myself a goal of trying to reach monetization, and I actually did do that in late August this year, and was then able to enable monetization in late September after I turned 18 years old, which is nice. I'm like, side note, I am like legally an adult now, which is kind of weird, but anyway. I think the main criticism I have for myself from this year, 2023, is that I didn't do nearly as many streams as I wanted. I am genuinely really sorry about that. It was purely due to being busy for multiple Saturdays in a row, which has kind of been my dedicated stream day for quite some time now, mostly because realistically it doesn't really fit in well for me to do a stream on a different day. Also, I'm the sort of person that really quite like having a schedule and that sort of thing, and also sticking to it as well. Ultimately, I'm also a video creator first, so my main priority has pretty much always been videos over streams. So like the times when I was available to stream, I kind of would rather, and well, I did focus on making a video instead of making a stream that day. Now, one thing I also should mention is the break I had on videos during August. If you are unaware, I accidentally deleted basically every file relating to the channel, or at least every current file relating to the channel, so things like logos, banners, etc. Long story short, I had just woken up and wanted to start rendering a video. I tried to delete a file I had put in the wrong place, and I didn't realize that I had my TheAlienDoctor folder selected whilst I deleted that file. As a result, I accidentally deleted everything in the TheAlienDoctor folder, along with also the file I was trying to delete. So I mean, at least I did the main thing I was trying to do, but it was not worth deleting that single file to delete everything else. Now, it was actually so big that it didn't give me the option to recycle the folder after I deleted it, and after trying multiple, both free and also like 2 different paid recovery softwares for files, I gave up, and I essentially just took some time off making videos and did lots of streaming instead. And then meanwhile, I made new logos, banners, and basically any of the other assets I lost, which actually worked quite well because at this time I was kind of working on my PinaCraft mini base and didn't have much video content to make at that point anyway. So actually, I really should just do that more often, where I take time off videos to do more streams, because it worked out really well. It also helped it was the summer holidays, so I didn't have college at the time, which meant like if I wanted to, I could probably have streamed daily, but I didn't, because I also needed to make my new logos and do like other IRL stuff. It's like really hard to explain quite how much I lost, and to, especially for somebody that doesn't do YouTube, try and like explain how big of an impact it had. Like there's stuff in that folder that every time I'm on my computer, I would probably end up using. Things like just templates for editing and all the songs and music that I downloaded over the years. Like literally all of that was gone. Everything, even like my old banners and my old logos, everything is completely gone. Don't worry, I am investing in a better backup solution so that this doesn't happen again. Now, of course, whilst I was taking that time off, as I mentioned, I produced a new logo and banners and stream overlay and basically just a whole new brand. I called it rebranding, and I think it's fair to say that I did certainly do that. My logo isn't completely different, but it is very, very different and for the better. And I wouldn't be able to talk about this without giving a special shout out to especially Crusader, who at the time had only been on PinaCraft for barely a month, but also Phipps and Goldie as well. Us three, or four I guess. Us four have like a PinaCraft British members group chat, and I was basically posting in there daily asking for advice on like the new iteration of the logo I'd made, and Crusader especially, but also Phipps and Goldie gave so much helpful feedback, and like, yeah, genuinely I wouldn't have been able to do it without those three amazing people. I'll make sure to leave a link to their channels in the description. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Huge thank you to you. Now that all that's out of the way, let's talk about some of my plans and goals for 2024. I personally do believe in setting goals, especially for something like YouTube. Helps you get the most out of what you're doing, and in this case, it really helps me make sure I'm producing the best content I can. For a bit of time in the past, I didn't really have a goal, and it kind of just felt like I wasn't working towards anything. So it's, in my opinion, especially for me, really helpful to set a goal so that I have that thing, whatever it may be, that I can work for or work towards. However, you know, the typical thing that people do is subscriber goals, and it's really hard for me to set a subscriber goal because it really just depends on how much time I have. And the thing is like, I genuinely don't know. As you probably could tell by this year, there were times when I just seemed to have like all the free time in the world, and then there were times when I had basically none. So it really just depends on like how busy college is, how busy other IRL stuff is, and yeah, it really just depends on how much time I have. So like if I did this full time, then I'd probably say like 10k as a goal, because my channel would see so much more growth because I'd have much more time to put into YouTube. Because no matter what people say, in my opinion, consistently uploading is the best way to get growth as a small channel and build an audience and a community in the beginning. I won't go into the details, but I've heard people kind of disagree. But like, if you're not posting, then you can't grow a community and an audience, and you kind of, in the beginning, you just need people to start watching your videos and coming back to your videos. Mr. Beast is able to upload like once a month or however often it is, because he already has a huge audience that like he could probably upload a 5-second video of just nothing and it would still get like millions of views. But as a small channel like me, that wouldn't work. I need to stay posting consistently, and statistically, if I don't do that, my channel will and has in the past suffered. And obviously there are times when that's out of my control. You know, I might just be really busy IRL and not be able to post, and obviously there's nothing I can do about that because ultimately that has to be my priority. That was a complete tangent I wasn't planning on going on, but what I was going to say is I think I'll just set a goal of like 3.5 thousand subscribers, which seems oddly specific. It's definitely not an easy goal, don't get me wrong, but I also don't think it's a super hard or unreachable goal to get either, especially after the recent growth my channel has had for the past few months. When I was sort of writing this in my notes, I then went ahead to look at Social Blade, because it has a prediction feature which tells you what it thinks how many subscribers you'll get after how many time has passed. And Social Blade thinks I'm actually going to reach 6,000 subscribers in 12 months, which seems very high. I mean, I'm not complaining. 6,000 subscribers is pretty good, and then in theory the next year we'd reach 10,000, which would be insane. Honestly, actually amazing if we were to reach 10,000 in like, what, 5 years? Yeah, if I reach 10,000 by 2025, then I'd have reached 10,000 in 5 years, which is pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, to me that seems too high, but we'll see. Crazier things have certainly happened on YouTube in the past. I guess there's always a bit of like imposter syndrome that most people do and probably should get with this sort of thing. Like lots of people recently, and if you're watching this, you probably know who you are, have said to me that they really appreciate and notice the consistency I have with my channel. But then to me, like, I know I'm more consistent than a lot of people, but I still don't feel consistent or as consistent as I want to be. So I guess it's kind of in that strange thing where sometimes you've got to realize actually what you are doing is a good job. But anyway, that's weird psychological. So I do want to try and continue to upload every week, once per week. And if it has to be every other week, then I'm fine with that too, even if it's 3 weeks. To be honest, I'm not stressing too much about meeting my upload schedule, which is every Wednesday and then a stream every Saturday. Because unfortunately, as a part-time YouTuber, essentially, it's unrealistic to expect yourself to meet every single schedule and every single deadline, because there are things that unfortunately just have to take priority. My education has to take priority because that's just how it is. My goal is going to be to upload once a week, but I know that that's not going to happen, and I'm fine with that, but ultimately that is my goal, so there you go. I also still want to stick to posting 2 shorts per week, but that really depends on how many streams I do, because most of those shorts are clips from the stream, but if I'm not streaming, we'll run out of clips. I'm basically already out of clips, to be honest, but I do want to look through some more old videos, so I might be able to get some more clips here and there. Now, I know I have kind of already mentioned streaming, but I'm thinking at some point I will have a break from... You know what, have I already talked about this? I can't remember if I've already talked about this. Apologies if I have, but it is in my notes in this section, so I'm just going to say it. But at some point, I think I'll probably have a break from making YouTube videos and purely focus on streaming for a bit whilst I can just, you know, completely work on the base. Due to how YouTube works, there are only so many videos I can make solely working on the base. Like realistically, a video titled working on the base isn't going to be that exciting. Even like working on the mega base. And I know there are better ways that you can do it, but the problem is for me to title a video in a certain way gives people an expectation of what that video is going to be about. And if it's not what they're thinking it is, then they're going to click off. That's essentially what extreme clickbaiting is. You kind of have to do some level of clickbaiting because you want people to click your video. But when clickbait is too far is when it's a video that you're not expecting that's titled in a way that makes you think it's something else, if that makes sense. So like realistically, a regular PinaCraft episode where I'm working on my base, but then I titled it super clickbaity, and look, it gets like loads of clicks, but then the retention just drops off, if that makes sense. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is that working on the base isn't something that I can do a lot of in videos. Like I kind of have to do something else for the title and thumbnail and then work on the base as a sort of secondary thing, but there's only so long I can do that for. And eventually I will essentially just be like only streaming on PinaCraft whilst I do the base. And then afterwards I'll probably return to videos and make video content, or maybe I'll just stick for streaming for the rest of the season, or eventually just maybe even end my season early. Like who knows? I can't tell you because I don't know how long my base is going to take, because it's a big project and we've got enough time for it in the season, I think. But I can't tell you if I'll finish it early, if I'll have to do like a mad grind on the last week or something. I simply don't know. And that's kind of the theme of a lot of the goals and stuff and aspirations, if you like, that I'm setting in today's video, is that I purely don't know because it does depend on how much time I have. And that is the reality of it. This year, I also put in more time into my second channel, which is something I also want to do more of next year. So I started making episodes on Lego Fortnite, and I have like 5 episodes recorded or something, because for the first couple of days when it first came out, I was like really hyped about it. But honestly, I've been editing them and I've kind of lost motivation. I literally, since recording those 5 episodes, I haven't played anymore and I'm not really wanting to go back. So I'm not sure how long Lego Fortnite episodes will actually last for, which I know is potentially disappointing for some of you who really liked my Lego Fortnite video I did on this channel, but then the episode 2 I did on the second channel got like basically no views. So clearly, you know, something like, I will admit those 2 videos were very different. The main channel one was much more algorithmically friendly. The second one, channel video, or the episode 2, was edited in a much more relaxed, probably less retention friendly. And I don't have the time basically to make another video every week that is like super YouTube algorithmic friendly and edited to its best. That's why the editing on those was minimal, but there was still editing. It wasn't my Zelda videos. Speaking of my Zelda videos, I really want to continue making those, and they will be returning. I basically just haven't had a chance to get a new controller, and honestly, I just needed that distraction out of my life for a bit, because my Nintendo Switch controller got really bad drift, but like, realistically, I don't know if I'd have had time, or if it would have been a good idea for me to split the time between Zelda, Minecraft, and real life. Like, with all those things, I feel like it would have been too much. So in some ways, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy a new controller when it first broke. But yeah, I'll be getting a new controller very, very soon. And in the new year, I will be continuing to make Zelda episodes, because we're only on like 30 something, maybe even 20 something. And I just really want to finish this game, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I really am enjoying this game, and I don't want to finish it, if you get what I mean. Like, I don't want it to be over, but I also really want to finish it, but I don't want it to be over, if you get what I mean. I just want to play through it, because it's an amazing game, and I love it, and even if I wasn't making videos on it, I'd still be playing it, so bear that in mind. But anyway, yeah, make sure to subscribe to Extra Alien, which is linked in the description, if you're interested in more second channel content. I know the goals section has probably been a lot shorter compared to the reflection section, but that's just how it is. I kind of do just have more things to say about this past year and a lot less goals and plans for the new year. Honestly, I'm kind of just going to do, for the most part, what I did this year, which is take it a day at a time, a week at a time, a month at a time, and not plan too far ahead, because sometimes that's what you need to do. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be doing some level of planning, but yeah. If you were expecting a full list of what I'm doing every single week for the next year, then yeah, this unfortunately this wasn't the video for that, because I'm just not the person for that. So yeah, no epic goals or anything, and unfortunately I don't really think there's anything particularly exciting I've announced here, so sorry about that. But anyway, a huge thank you for watching. Once again, a huge thank you. A huge thank you for 2023. It has been awesome, and you guys have made it even more awesome. Wholesome. I am very, very excited. There is actually some things. Okay, I know I said there's not too much exciting to announce. There are some things that are being in the works that I am working on that I'm very, very excited about, but I can't say what they are yet. Multiple things, most of them including other people as well, because I do want to do more collabs. I suppose that's a goal. Do more collabs with other people. And it's looking very likely that that's going to happen. What could I be hinting to? Who knows? Oh, and I suppose the other thing is lore. Real quickly, in my PinaCraft episodes, I used to do lore, and then I kind of stopped this year. Well, lore is returning. I've already got plans. I'm in the process of writing it and stuff like that. So lore will be returning. Yay! And that's L-O-R-E, if you're wondering, not L-A-O, L-A-O, L-A-W. So yeah, this is proper lore, storyline sort of stuff, roleplay, but not really. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for 2023. Like and subscribe, join the Patreon, join YouTube membership, all of that stuff. Join the Discord, or don't. I don't have control over you. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.